You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriver.
What the hell is that?
Podcast.
Get your muffler fixed, you Hi! Welcome to the Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast. It's time for podding, not pod racing. That's something different. But this is podcasting. Allegedly. Let's not go throwing around words that we can't take back. But we're going to do wrestle talk. As we're wont to do, we got all of the things that make beef angry and vein poppy out of the way in the last episode. I'm not even going to mention it. Not even going to mention the name. I'm not. This is not about upsetting beef this episode. We got that out of our system last episode. Go listen if you haven't, because any episode where we can upset beef, I feel like that's a win for us. And I feel like that's definitely a win for you, the listeners. In any case, though, let's talk about some Wrestleverse things. Not the multiverse, the Wrestleverse. So many things. I don't know what's happening anymore. I think I may have drank myself into a rum-soaked nightmare. I'm Ransom the Madman. We have Poot the Bard here. We have Beef the Legend. Tiger Bomb Tom may be along. Mayhaps he will. Mayhaps he won't. You'll just have to stay tuned and listen to find out. I'm sure if he does wind up showing up, the rest of the episode will just be dominated by his mouth because he won't shut the fuck up. But let's talk wrestling.
Hey!
Allegedly. Before we talk about what Beef was haying about, we started talking about this before we started recording the episode, but let's talk about it now since we do a wrestling podcast. Bobby Lashley apparently had a very close call in a whoopsie daisy.
Yeah.
Happened at a house show. Apparently, he got flung into the ropes. The rope broke. The top rope broke or came unbuckled or unhinged. That's mainly just Beef and me. But the rope also became unhinged, and Bobby Lashley legit took a backwards whoopsie doodle onto the floor and landed almost on his dome piece.
If you watch the video, it almost looks like he did a moonsault. It's like,
backwards moonsault. Yeah. Oh, my Lord. How this dude didn't get... This could have been real close to another... Big E style neck breaking. But thankfully, I'm assuming he wasn't hurt or wasn't hurt too bad or just had a little shake it off, boy. Because he's in a match at, boy, I almost duffed it there. He's in a match at the pay-per-view that shall not be named on this episode. So thankfully, he wasn't hurt. But how does that happen? Like, do you have is there a new guy on your ring crew? Is it just a freak accident? Did somebody not tighten up something that shouldn't? You know what I mean?
I don't know if it was anything like someone not having due diligence. I think that shit just happens. I mean, it really is true, man. Like, sometimes shit just fucking happens. And this is why, they talk about, like, a lot of people still to this day go, wrestling's fake, right? Wrestling, blah, 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 blah. These guys, train themselves to be able to fall as safely as possible. And if you watch some of the fucking wrestling that's happening now, especially on the indies, how extreme it goes. For example, look at someone like Will Ospreay. They try and train themselves to make something look like it hurts and minimize the pain. And I think the only reason that Bobby Lashley isn't, paralyzed or dead is because he knows how to fall right.
Well, I think his musculature has a lot to do with that, too. Like, he would have landed on his fucking traps and his shoulders, and my God, he is a magnificent specimen. So, if there's anybody who could probably land on the back of... Same as Big E. I think that's why Big E got off so damn lucky, is because he's fucking built like a brick shithouse. These guys work out for that specific reason, so that if they do land wrong, it certainly helps their look in the ring. But also if something goes wrong and they land wrong, they're gonna be, it's not like me fucking walking across a yard and breaking my ankle. Like their muscles are pretty well put together in that, they're set up for success. And then obviously, clearly, you guys forgot about WrestleMania. This is all Drew McIntyre's
What, you talking
fault.
about Bork Laser?
No, this is all Drew McIntyre's fault. Drew McIntyre cut the top 2 ropes at WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre was the one that whipped Bobby Lashley into the ropes. Is that a coincidence? No, man, this is all planned by Drew McIntyre.
All
Drew
right.
McIntyre is like,
All
Drew
right.
McIntyre tried to Goldberg Bobby Lashley. He tried to kill a guy.
All right,
sure?
Alex. All right, Alex Jones, you calm down over there.
Drew McIntyre killed a guy.
I'm with him.
He saw Lashley coming for his top spot. Yeah, he saw Lashley coming for his top spot. He's like, no, man, we got to end this. So he pulled out his sword at WrestleMania to cut those ropes to get him set up, knowing he'd be fighting Lashley in a house show and being like, oh, I didn't know the ropes would do that. Sorry, mate.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, you know what I think it was?
I didn't know
think
you'd
Drew
fall on your
McIntyre-
head. Ugh.
Yeah, I think Drew McIntyre looked at Goldberg and went, well, hell, Goldberg ended Bret Hart's career and made a shit ton of money and is still coming back for the blood money shows. If I can take out Bobby Lashley the same way, I'll be set for life. Damn it, Drew McIntyre, you are a stealth heel. That's what he is. He's a stealth heel.
I feel like you're a spider, and I'm just like a fly that's flying around your web, and you're like, I'm gonna get you. All these niceties that you've been throwing out about Bret Hart and Sasha Banks as of late, I'm like, I hear them, and like my brain's processing them, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna jump in here because I'm not gonna give him the satisfaction of being like, ha beef, I got you. Bret Hart was a turd, ha.
I think you're crossing over into Alex Jones territory. The frogs really aren't gay, sir.
No,
like
there's
every
nothing
once in a while I can toss a compliment towards Bret Hart and Sasha Banks and not truly not have any underlying plans or trying to lure you into any false sense of security. I'm definitely not trying to set you up for some sort of gotcha moment. I don't know why on earth you would think such a thing.
Never.
Also, there's nothing in the water, beef. Gay frogs have a choice. Anyway, so like Bobby, like that was something that was like it's been like kind of a lean time in wrestling as far as like big news things. But when I saw that, like very rarely, and it's a really good thing. I think we can take away from this. It's a good thing that we never see shit like this.
Yes.
It happens once in a blue moon.
I think that somebody's gonna get fired, or somebody probably got fired over it. Because I disagree with Poot. I don't think that this is a freak thing. I think that this is somebody not doing their due diligence. It seems like the turnbuckle wasn't, and I don't know shit about building rings. I've never taken part in taking a ring apart or putting one up. So fuck me, I could be wrong. But like legit, I know how it works, and it seems like the turnbuckles weren't quite as screwed on as they should have been. And again, I don't know at what point in the night that this came. It may have been fine for the other 5 matches. It may have been loosening as it goes. I don't know, but it definitely seems like at some point somebody probably should have been like, you know what, the top rope's looking a little loosey goosey. We may, and I mean, you don't want to disrupt the flow of even a live show, even though it's not on television. But like, you don't want to reduce the flow of the live show to have somebody get down there and fix the turnbuckle. But at the same time, if you don't, somebody could die.
I think they will. Like, yeah. Nah, you're right. Yeah.
I mean, they remember whenever they were like anti-blood, and it was during the pandemic. And like the match with Christian was stopped because he was bleeding during a ladder match. So like they literally paused the match, had a referee come down and like towel him off, a la MMA almost, to like take a timeout for like a blood loss thing. And I'm like, I don't know about all this. Like if you can do it for that, you can certainly send a fucking ring crony down there to be like, hey, go tighten that top to that that top rope before somebody spills out. Oh, too late. There goes Lashley. Hope he's fine.
Uh-oh. Too late now. See, I
Up.
don't remember them stopping that match to towel off Christian during the pandemic. I remember Seth Rollins vomiting all over the place during the pandemic when Rey Mysterio's eye came out.
That happened. Yep,
But,
it's out. It's out. No, yeah, I don't remember. I remember it was a ladder match. I remember Christian was involved, and I remember like the match basically grinding to a halt. While they like toweled and they had like the ref on the guy like toweling Christian off. And I'm like, all right, this is a thing that's happening now. So here we go.
Call him off, Bobby.
But yeah, I'm glad he's okay. Especially because he just came back from injury at WrestleMania from like a torn labrum or like a bicep, something in that same general vicinity. So, Kismet, he seems to be okay, thankfully.
Yeah.
At least okay enough to have an arm wrestling contest with Omos on Monday Night Raw. So, take that for what it's worth.
Well, I mean, you would figure that Bobby Lashley would be. I'm sure he made sure that he was properly checked out, knowing full well that he has to wrestle Omos at this coming pay-per-view.
That's true.
There's no way any legit wrestler would go, I might be a little hurt. I could probably still wrestle Omos though. Like,
I mean, this is one of those situations where it's like, January 2nd, you have a little bit of a tickle of a cold. You're like, fuck it, I'm gonna use my PTO. If I'm Bobby Lashley, I'm like, hey man, I think I may have pulled something falling out of the ring the other day. I don't think I want to wrestle Omos at the pay-per-view. Make somebody else do it.
I'd straight show up the next day with a neck brace on. Like,
the thing is with Bobby Lashley,
straight out of a book, straight out of the Vince McMahon steroid trial book. Like, I'll just show up with a neck brace on. I'll be like, I can't wrestle Omos at the pay-per-view. I can't do it. You're gonna have to put him in a.
Well, the problem is with Bobby Lashley, he would have to not. He wouldn't be able to wear like a standard neck brace. He would just have to get like a white inner tube and deflate it.
Right?
And just put it around his neck and be like, Vince, I can't do shit right now.
Just duct tape his neck up.
Right? Yeah, man. That's about it too.
Shows up with a unicorn inner tube around his head like, sorry guys, can't wrestle. I don't know.
Vince, I'm all fucked up. I can't go tonight. You gotta make somebody else wait on, boss.
I gotta go testify against Hulk Hogan, Vince. I don't know.
I don't want to do it, brother. You can't make me.
You can't make me.
Vince never made us take steroids. We did it all on our own with his cajoling. Wait, what?
I did it for The Rock. Anyway. Curses. Spoiled again.
Spoiled again.
Speaking of spoiled again,
no.
we've all been fucking duped again, ladies and gentlemen. Remember how companies just aren't making money, and the pandemic cost everybody their jobs, and how no one's ever going to recover, and especially WWE losing all those fans. Or earning reports of the first quarter of 2022, $3.33 million, which is an increase of 27%, and a quarterly record. It was estimated that they'd get 325 million, and they got 337 or 333. So yeah, they came in over the estimate. Vince McMahon is still making money hand over foot, ladies and gents. Don't be concerned about that. But, and this kind of beckons into my Russo quip from last episode.
Oh no!
Like, honestly, if things are status quo, or if they continue to make money, why would they change anything?
They're not gonna. They're not gonna.
It's boggling that they're still making all this money hand over foot. But by God, somebody is paying $500 for the fucking Undertaker title. Somebody is spending a lot of money.
Ugly, stupid titles. I get why they're doing it. It was something they're trying that's kind of creative and kind of nifty. But it's like, fuck, man. Like, yep, they're dumb. They were never held by anyone. They're a cash grab.
Yep.
Like the Fiend belt. I know the Fiend took it to the ring a couple times, but that thing was uglier than sin. I almost threw up because I was thinking of it.
Oh, good
Poop
lord.
just exploded. You know, like I
Something
don't
different.
know. I don't know finances. I don't know, boo about that kind of thing.
I do.
I
Clearly.
wonder. I mean, Poot, you're a banker, so I trust your judgment. But anyway,
Who has the money knowledge?
I wonder how much of it is like residuals from Peacock. Like, I wonder if they get money from things like WrestleMania and Backlash. Like, I wonder if that's a thing. I mean, obviously, they took a decent gate from WrestleMania because they had 2 nights where they had 75,000 tickets sold.
Well, they definitely do.
Oh my,
Otherwise, they
yeah.
wouldn't be doing it. Like,
But
they're not gonna put their special events or whatever they call them nowadays on a streaming service if they're not making money on them. They would have just stayed on pay-per-view.
right, that's what I'm saying. So like, I
They're
I
making
don't
money.
think it was like a like, here's $500 million for a one-time thing. I think Peacock,
No.
hey, let us run this and we'll give you a cut. And Vince is like, yeah, man, let's do that.
Absolutely.
And it.
Well, just look
and-
at everything that they have going on, though. Like, they've got their live events, they
Uh-huh.
have their merch sales,
Video
they
game.
have video games, and not only that, they've got USA money, Fox money,
Yep.
Peacock money.
Blood
Like,
money.
it's coming at blood money. Yes. Oh Lord, I almost forgot the most important one, the blood money. They've got money coming in all over the place. And we love to shit on Vince McMahon's storytelling and booking abilities, but
We
when it
coulda-
comes down to businessman abilities, that dude knows exactly what he's doing. Because
Yeah, man.
he didn't just say, okay, well, you know what? We were on USA first. They've been with us, the longest. So we're going to put all of our ducks in their row. They spread them out all over the place.
Yep.
And that's why they have a steady stream of income coming in from all these different sources. So let's just say, hypothetically, something goes wrong with USA. USA has some sort of catastrophic something or other, and they go belly up. Well, it doesn't matter to WWE because they've got Peacock to fall back on. They have Fox to fall back on. They've got blood money to fall back on. They can take whatever they have on USA and take it somewhere else. They could put it over on Fox in the meantime until they find a different company to replace USA. So as a businessman, Vince knows exactly what he's doing, and he spread his product all over the place to ensure income is coming in from multiple different sources. That's how they're fine financially, is they've got money coming in from fucking everywhere.
But yet, even though I don't know if it was earned or cleared. I think it was just earned. So it's not like, necessarily like 333 like in the plus. Like, I'm sure they still have money going out and everything, but like it's still probably a decent, revenue. Let us not forget though, less than a week ago, or maybe a week ago, I don't remember exactly the date, they released Malcolm Bivens, Dakota Kai, Dexter Loomis, Parker Bordeaux, among other NXT talents, under the name of budget cuts. Like, hey, we just don't have the money to support the size of the roster.
Hey, we
But
don't
oh,
have the
by the way-
we don't have the creativity to use talents like you. So get the fuck out of here and go control your narrative.
That's
Oh no!
more true, honestly. But yeah, I mean,
it's an easy way. It's an easy out. That excuse is an easy out in this business and in.
but we don't believe
WWE.
him. But we don't believe him because
I don't think it doesn't matter. Nobody has to believe them. They're using that as an excuse. Probably a lot of people, especially the people in the business, probably know full well WWE could pay for them. But I think WWE is using that as an excuse, and they don't give two shits if the entire world knows that it's not due to budgetary constraints.
and they're talking out of both sides of the mouth, because then you got a guy like Roddy Strong who's like, "Hey man, let me go," and they're like, "No, we're gonna keep you. We have some projects in mind for you." And he, every month or so, he's like, "Hey, I'd like to be released from my contract." Oh no! So I think it's more about,
It's all business.
who can go where. They know that he will 100%. end up on Dynamite in 3 months as part of the Undisputed Elite, or maybe even a month as part of the Undisputed Elite.
Yep.
100%. And then AEW would be dumb if they didn't do that.
Yep. They're
So,
not worried about Dexter, and this isn't I'm not throwing shade at Dexter Loomis. I'm just using him as an example because he's the only name I can remember out of that group. But they're not worried about Dexter. Yeah, okay. But they're not worried about Dexter Loomis going to AEW and having everybody go, oh shit, Dexter Loomis is on AEW. Freak out. But like you said, if Roddy Strong went there and joined up, it would just be like, oh, look, the Undisputed Era is now over here and running rough. Like it would be a much bigger deal if Roddy Strong went.
Yep.
And they know that, which is why they're not releasing him from his contract, even though he wants out. And you would think if you're having budgetary constraints, someone wanting out of their contract, you'd be like, oh man, you're saving us. Like, thank goodness. Like, we don't have to let you go. You want to voluntarily leave? Absolutely, by all means.
Yep. And that's, so more Vince McMahon bullshit. Yep.
Spinning their web.
Yeah, that's what he does. Again, harkening back to the fucking steroid trial. That's what Vince does. Vince spins it all to make him be the good guy and everybody else be the bad guy. And
he's the master of it.
He's the master of fucking gaslighting.
As long as fans continue to buy in and continue to buy those crap titles and be proud of it and take them to the fucking shows and get wrestlers to sign them and because they think that now that they're your best friends,
Let's all ease up on the Vince McMahon hate because it'll get all our blood boiling, and listen to this. There we go.
Was that your neck cracking?
No, that was a beer being opened.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Man.
Before we do get completely off the thread,
Jim.
no offense to everybody else who was released, but Dexter Loomis, where do you see him going? Because I see maybe Raw. I think Raw might be a good fit for him, or maybe Impact.
Impact would be good. He was probably the most heartbreaking because I don't know if you saw it, but he was like on his Instagram story, he was like working on a picture of Vince McMahon, like signing papers at his desk with his big fucking T-Rex skull behind him. I think he shared that on Saturday or Sunday, and then like Sunday night the news came that he was released. And I was like, man, like that's some shitty fucking timing.
Yep.
But yeah, he could be decent in Japan, I think too. But Impact, I think, makes the most sense.
Yeah, especially for his penchant for the, and not using this term slanderously, but like the gimmick. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Penchant for the outrageous.
I mean, all of that's true. Honestly, I'm shocked.
A penchant for the absurd.
I'm shocked that they let Parker Bordeaux go. He was the guy that was with Gacy for a while under the name of Harland.
He was like the next Brock Lesnar.
Yep. And he was a freak. He looked great. And then they fucking shaved his head and put him in a fucking janitor's clothing and was like, here, get over as like a mental patient. Like, yeah.
Oh, yes, nails.
He's going to fucking, of course he's going to fucking fail. Nathan Jones.
Yes, Gene Snitsky.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Festus. Of course he's going to fucking fail. But, like, I guarantee you, if he shows up on fucking AEW and starts running roughshod, like, he'll be the next Brian Cage. Not that Brian Cage is doing a lot, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that they'll hit and they'll be like, man, this kid's great. AEW or Impact is another place he could end up. New Japan. So, I mean, he's not that young. And honestly,
31.
31. So he's not like super old, but like I think them getting Gable Stevenson probably had a lot more to do with them being okay with letting him go, because they're like, hey, now we have an actual Olympian that we can push for this Brock Lesnar type, and this other kid we can just fuck him, get rid of him.
Boy, they're really banking a lot on this Gable Stevenson. It really better pay off for them. They're doing a lot.
I've liked what I've seen so far, but we'll see. I
Proof
like
is in
what
the
I've
pudding.
seen
You
so
gotta wait.
far. Right. So far, how he's interacted with everybody has worked. He's getting big pops because he's an honest to God Olympic hero. All of this is true and all of this is good, but if he can't cut a promo worth a damn, it's not gonna fucking matter.
All they'll
You
do
were
is
all
give
high
him a
and mighty on Control Your
mouthpiece.
Narrative too, until they turned out to be a big disaster.
It's true. That's true. But
They'll
yeah, I
just
mean,
give Gable Stevenson a mouthpiece, Beef.
yeah, and I mean that did work for Brock Lesnar. Honestly, it really did. Like that made Lesnar's career. So I don't disagree with that. But yeah, I mean I think he's got the chops. We'll see if they're able if they're actually able to develop him into anything. But the fact that he has a history and some fucking chops, I think goes a long way. So I do want to get into some AEW talk because we've been scant on that pretty much since WrestleMania. And now that the busy season for WWE is over, I think it's worth revisiting our good friend in AEW. Fucking booked already for the end of the month. Double or Nothing is Hangman Page versus CM Punk for the title, and I am pretty fucking excited for that.
I don't know if it's just me, but I've seen a lot of not displeasure. Trying to think of a good word. I've seen a lot of people seemingly disappointed on the interwebs with Adam Page. I think probably because they built it up like it was going to be like his title reign was going to be something a lot bigger in their minds than what it has turned out to be. I don't know that I don't know that I'd call his title reign a failure. But a lot of people seem like they're ready for him to lose the belt.
Failure, I don't think is fair. But
No, I don't think I've seen anybody call him that. I think they've just I think they overhyped it in their head, maybe.
Yeah. So honestly, I think.
Well, can I be really quick? I don't mean to cut you off as well.
Go ahead.
I think the problem, and I kind of thought this whenever Adam Page was in the chase. Well, first of all, when he was in the chase, he does way better as someone who's chasing a championship than holding one. And also, I knew it's like Adam Page wins the AEW Heavyweight Championship. Big cheers, cowboy shit chants, all that stuff. And then the following night, it's the kind of like coronation, the celebration. People are really into it. But then immediately after that, it was going to be, all right, what now?
So I think that this reign has kind of been cursed from the word go. I think that his reign was supposed to start at All Out last year. But because of him and his wife having their child, which is a great thing, don't get me wrong, those plans had to be pushed back. So I think that is where it kind of started. And it doesn't help that he has beaten two internet darlings in feuds in Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole. I think that it didn't do him any favors because I think when he faced both Danielson and Cole, I think the crowd was split because people like Danielson, people like Cole, people like Hangman too. Here's a shocker. People, the average fan, probably like Danielson, Adam Cole, and CM Punk a little bit more than Hangman Page. So, like, if your bet was that, hey, Hangman's going to get over by beating these guys, your bet was wrong. Archer, I think, was a good feud for him. I would have probably had him with Brian Cage, Scorpio Sky. I would have, or Ethan Page. I would have taken a bit advantage of Dan Lambert being the heater. I think that they could have made better booking decisions than going American Dragon and Adam Cole Bebe for his first two big contenders. So between not capitalizing on the heat when it was there, and again for a good reason, and some lackluster challenge. No, I don't want to say that, some poor booking decisions of who he was facing.
Yeah.
I think that's all kind of like spelled a Drew McIntyre-ish reign for him. If we're gonna be honest.
I think you're right. I think they probably should have kept Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, and Adam Cole away from the title picture with Adam Page for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think you're right. I think that's probably where a lot of the disappointment is coming because, like you said, when you put Adam Page up against these three well-known guys, people are going to know Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, and CM Punk a lot better. The casual fan, at least. Even the not-so-casual fan. Just because they're just because who they are. I think they set it up for maybe a disappointment booking them so fast.
When you're on the platform of WWE, inherently, like, more people who are casual at best wrestling fans are going to know you. Like, that's just kind of the thing. If you've been and listen, as much as we bash on WWE, they are the grandest stage, man. I know that's a thing that for WrestleMania, but as far as wrestling in the world, they are it. Like, still, nothing. Everything else is good, and I mean the actual in-ring work, storytelling, whatever can be comparable, but there is something magic about WrestleMania. There's something magic about the Rumble. There's something magic about those moments. And,
you're magic.
Oh, hey, everybody, Tiger Bomb Tom. And thank you. I know I am.
I know you are, but what am I?
But I'm magical. You're mystical. Me.
I'm WrestleMania Backlash.
You broke the rule.
We're not doing that. We're not doing it this episode.
We're not doing that thing.
Damn it.
So, but that's my point is that, like, that's why, you might have that pushback. And also people are so excited to see the people like Danielson, like, Moxley or anyone who was in WWE and a big portion of whatever their programming was be on an AEW stage. And you're conflicted because you're like, Beef said it. I love Hangman Adam Page, but I really want to see this other guy win. So fuck it. I'll cheer for both.
And I think another problem is, like, everybody in AEW has a cool faction. Adam Cole has the Super Elite, or the Undisputed Elite, as they're being called now. Fucking Darby Allin's palling around with Sting. Fucking the Jericho Appreciation Society. MJF is with, FTR. We got the House of Black. Like, everybody's kind of aligning here. Blackpool Combat Club. Everybody's kind of like taking, battle lines. And you have the champion who is a lone wolf, which I understand should be a good thing. Which should be like, this guy's a badass because he's by himself. It should be Austin in the Attitude Era. But it's not. Especially not whenever you have the cool factor of the Undisputed Elite. You have the cool factor of the House of Black. You have the cool factor of, Death Triangle, like Blackpool Combat Club. All these other stables are cool. Like, I think Adam Page could absolutely be beneficial in some sort of like a trio or something like that. But I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like it's been ill-fated since the word go, and honestly wouldn't shock me if he drops the title to Punk.
I think if he did, that'd be good, because it could break it could like push Adam Page down a little bit. He could rebuild, give him some time. Fucking turn him heel. Any good babyface I want to see do a heel run, because normally the best babyfaces make the best fucking bad guys. Speaking of which, have we heard anything about Marty Scurll lately?
No, I'm afraid that he might be persona non grata right now.
Well, yeah.
And like, fucking the sky is falling, all of a sudden with Warner Media, merging with Discovery, a lot of people are apparently thinking, oh, it's the end of AEW, even though, TBS is sending out email flyers about a new show coming for AEW, and they're looking for the best name for it. But oh yeah, they're clearly done with wrestling.
Oh, my knee! I jerked it too much.
You dumb fucks. But like,
Goodness,
Tell us how you really feel.
I'm
it's
just
so
about to
fucking.
say that.
It's so fucking stupid. People are like, oh, look, fucking Pappy Dave is saying this could be trouble. Better watch out. Like, no, man. Everybody just fucking take a minute, quit being a fucking alarmist, and just let it happen.
AEW's not going anywhere.
No, my God, no. They're another one that has grown proportionately in the pandemic era, which is unheard of. So yeah,
They've proven their worth.
Yeah, let's definitely take them off TV because they've done nothing but get a profit year after year. Anyway, my point in all of this rant is lost, and I forget what I was saying.
I have something. Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Hey, before we start on a new thread, I just want to tell you guys. Normally, I wouldn't do this in the middle of an episode. Papa the Bard is calling, so I'm gonna answer the phone and talk to him. I will jump in whenever I jump in.
All right,
jump it, baby. Get your jump on. Beef, you said something that made me have a thought. When you were talking about Adam Page and all these different people that are part of all these different groups. It's like there are, imagine this, it's like AEW and WWE are polar opposites. WWE and Vince McMahon, it's here we go, hashtag well documented that Vince McMahon is not a fan of stables, despite the immense success of D-Generation X, the Nation of Domination, Evolution, good Lord. But still, we hate stables. AEW seems to have just an absolute overflow of stables. What's your opinion on that? Do you think that AEW maybe has gone a little too far overboard and is oversaturated with the amount of stables that they have on their current roster? Or do you think the way that they've done it and the way that they book matches and handle everything, that even though they seem to be, like, if you look at just a list of names, even though there's a lot of stables on that list, do you think they're doing a good job at balancing everything out? Or do you think AEW is a little oversaturated on stables and needs to kind of take a step backward and go, okay, let's maybe put the kibosh on making any more stables?
2 points. The first is I am a little bit laxed at this point, but still a fan of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I think that's where AEW was born, was in New Japan. When Kenny Omega faced Jericho was, basically when Harry met Sally. That's whenever they were like, hey, this could be something. When Cody joined Bullet Club and they had the Bucks and they're like, listen, this feels organic. Let's roll with this. And in New Japan, like, everybody is aligned with somebody. You're either Bullet Club or you're Chaos or you're Los Ingobernales de Japan or your Suzuki Goon. Like, everybody's got a faction. It's, in fact, if you don't have a faction, you're like a young lion, which is like a young boy, somebody who hasn't really come into their own. But it's very rare that a wrestler is unaligned. So that being said, that's kind of, I think, where this thought grew out of. Second point, we need to be careful what we're calling a stable and what we're calling a trio, and I think that's going to matter. I think that AEW, it's been long reported, even before the TNT and the TBS title came along, that they wanted to introduce trios titles, which again is something that New Japan and AAA has done. in the past is have 6-man tag team titles. They wanted that was going to be their thing, and honestly would be a great call to do in North America, because how did what did Impact do to set themselves apart? Yeah, they had their weird fucking ring, but they had the X division, a division that featured high flyers, but wasn't about weight limits. It was about no limits. Guys like Samoa Joe flying around with the fucking cruisers. Guys like AJ Styles who have prolific fucking matches flying around with a guy like Kazarian, things like that. So I think AEW is setting us up and getting us prepared for a 6-man tag team division between Eddie Kingston and LAX and Blackpool Combat Club, Death Triangle, the House of Black. Those are all 3-man groups.
Real quick, Beef. Who all is part of the Blackpool?
Blackpool Combat Club is
Yes,
Moxley, Danielson, and Wheeler Yuta.
Oh,
So
really? Fucking oh my God, what was his WWE slave name? Wheeler Yuta.
he wasn't in WWE.
No? Who am
No,
I? I'm thinking of somebody else then.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You might be thinking of Cash Wheeler, like at the end
No.
of Aftermath. Oh no.
No.
Anyway,
Anyways.
no, he started as a young boy for Japan, and he was with the Best Friends for a while. Like
Yeah.
once Trent got hurt, he came in and was tagging with Chuck
Yeah.
as part of the Best Friends stable,
Right.
and he kind of like walked away from that and became part of this Blackpool Combat Club, which is awesome, which I love, and it's great. But yeah, so I think ultimately they're setting us up for a 6-man tag division. So do I think that they're oversaturated with stables? I think the jury is out, but I think that ultimately, if it leads to a 6-man division, I think it's fine. Because you can't just throw together 3 Jagoffs. I mean, you can, but it's not going to be that great of a division if you're just throwing together 6 Jagoffs every month to face each other. But if you have like established connections and like family ties, yeah, it'll be great. It does.
So they're forward thinking. Like that's
so.
what's going on here. It's not that it's oversaturation. It's they have a plan, and they're not just gonna willy-nilly pull the trigger on the plan without setting up established 3-man teams. Like they want to have these 3-man team established before they go ahead and just introduce this title and go, haha.
Would not shock me if we got that this summer or at All Out. If they were like, hey, here's your 6-man titles.
Okay.
Because I really think that they want to do it. And like I said, because they have a preponderance of 3-man teams. And yes, they do have stables. The Undisputed Elite is a stable. But I think that's going to resolve itself here sooner than later anyway.
Has the Dark
Order?
Okay, I was going to say, are they still kind of floating around, or didn't
they
a couple
are?
of them
They
break
are,
up,
but they're
or?
kind of background characters.
Yeah, they're more on being the elite and like elevation and stuff. Stu Grayson walked away from a contract. Apparently he wanted to come back and they wanted him back, but they couldn't agree to terms, so he just kind of walked.
Okay.
He might be back, which is a loss because the Super Smash Bros. Never got their fair due in AEW.
Man, I still love that finishing move, the fatality.
The fatality,
Oh,
yeah,
it's so
man.
good.
Fucking love
man.
it.
And like the Jericho Appreciation Society, like yes, they do have larger stables as well, but yeah, if you start like quantifying how many of them are 6 persons, yeah, I think that realistically, I think they're setting this up.
Well, that's good. It's good that it's not going to be an oversaturation then. If it sounds like they have a plan, or it sounds like at least we think they have a plan, and they're just slowly moving forward instead of hurrying up and getting there.
Beef, since real quick, since you're like the resident AEW aficionado, what
You can call me a fanboy. It's okay.
No. What's become of the Pinnacle with MJF and FTR and stuff? Is that still anything, or is it pretty much kind of fizzled out?
So Spears and MJF are still buddy.
Okay.
FTR is kind of like doing their own thing, but they're still like MJF adjacent. Now, here's where things start to get kind of like a little bit wishy-washy. I think at some point we're going to get Bret Hart involvement. Despite fucking Uncle Dave reporting that he signed a new agreement, and Bret was like, "Nah, brah, it's merchandising. I can go wherever the hell I want."
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah.
cool. That's good to know.
I think we're going to get, because as Hangman so eloquently put it, you don't have a Bret Hart masturbatory match if you don't plan on having him involved. So like I don't think Dax and Cash have that match that mirrored so many Bret Hart matches. I don't think the CM Punk comes out wearing that Bret Hart hoodie. I don't think that Dax and Cash have the Hart Foundation trunks unless you got something in the pipeline.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I ultimately think, and wouldn't shock me if we see Punk and FTR kind of like buddy up as like the Bret Hart Club or whatever.
I'd love that shit.
I think, and even if it was fucking short term, and then they eventually turn on Punk to have him lose the title to MJF, I think that would be really fun. But yeah, so like yes, they are still with MJF tangentially. There was like a weird kind of handshake thing a couple weeks ago where they're like, "Yeah, man, we're still cool, buddy." But like they also realized that we're also the best tag team in the world, and we're gonna start fucking acting like it.
Yeah.
Could you imagine a team up of FTR and CM Punk managed by Bret Hart? Those three dudes would lose their minds.
Yeah, man.
If they were able to be in a stable that was managed and mouthpieced by Bret Hart, they would lose their shit.
And the thing is, you say what you want about Bret, whether you're a fan of him or not. I think if he was the manager mouthpiece for that, it would be great, because Bret, it was kind of a 50-50 split. His promos were always really strong, or they were like kind of white meat baby face kind of things. But he always had good delivery.
Yeah, man, and emotion. I felt like when they let Hart have the reins, like in like the build up to the Attitude Era, when they let Hart actually speak from the heart and have emotion and like bass in his voice, I absolutely think that he like hit his fucking stride.
Yeah,
that would be a big deal too.
Is Tully Blanchard not really managing?
No,
FTR?
They kicked him to the curb, and now he's working in with Ring of Honor with the two Jamokes. So I forget who they are. But he basically has Tully Blanchard Enterprises with two like Rowe guys and Brian Cage.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Sorry. I've been very much out of the loop especially in the last couple of weeks. So yeah,
man.
Let's not beleaguer the point too that a Bret Hart deal with AEW, like to come in and be a personality on TV on the reg with the hottest tag team there is, and probably the hottest return to ever happen in professional wrestling. That would be probably one of the biggest gets for AEW. You know, not to take anything away from like an Arn Anderson or a Tully Blanchard, DDP, whatever, but all those guys they're legends, but they're not the same caliber legend of Bret Hart. There are going to be people out there that know Bret the Hitman Hart that don't know Tully Blanchard or that don't know Arn Anderson.
True.
You know, say what you will, but I guarantee that there are people out there that don't know those guys, but know fucking Bret Hart.
let
and
me ask.
especially our generation, like he was the Arn Anderson and the Tully Blanchard of our generation. Like everybody knows, if you're a wrestling historian, you know the Four Horsemen.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that you've seen any of their fucking tape. The wrestling historians of our generation grew up watching fucking Bret Hart. Like
Yeah.
that's why he's widely regarded by people our age as like, the best wrestling tactician in the ring, along with he who should not be named.
You mean Benoit? I'll
Yep.
name him. I'll
Yep.
name him.
Yeah,
I'll name him all day.
that is going to be, and I'm really hoping that the rumors of like a signing with WWE, I have no earthly idea why Bret Hart would sign something with WWE after this this long.
He himself put the
that's the thing.
kibosh on it. He said
That's
it's a
good.
merchandise deal.
Because I think Bret Hart can look at these guys. He can look at FTR and he can look at CM Punk and go, okay, these guys, they appreciate the business. Yes, they get it. They soak it. I bet he can see a lot of himself and Owen and Davey Boy and Neidhart in these guys and go, like, this is a group that I want to be a part of.
Well,
and if I'm going to shut up. If I'm going to come back to the wrestling business and be a part of it again, these are the guys that I want to align myself with, not necessarily because of the company that they're with, but because of them and their passion and their desire and how good they want to be and just how the students of wrestling that they are. Well, and good Lord. Oh my God.
Sorry.
Now go ahead. I'm done.
Well,
just get it out before you explode.
Well, the thing is, Punk is unapologetically a huge Bret Hart fan. Like, unapologetically. Like, he thinks Bret Hart is literally the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. So, like, yeah.
Quick question.
You're right, yeah.
Quick question for you, and you can go down the line. Doesn't have to be an elaborate answer. If Bret Hart does end up being in AEW on the reg in the managerial position, which do you think is the bigger get? Hart to AEW or Cody to WWE? Beef.
It's probably still Cody.
Poot.
What? Pass.
Okay.
Let me
pass. Go. Ransom.
I think Hart to AEW.
Okay.
And strictly because Cody was with WWE before. I'm going to elaborate. Cody was with WWE before. And like he'd been there, done that. But Bret Hart hasn't, like, once he retired, he came back and made like little appearances here and there, very sporadically, never on the reg. I think it's a bigger get for Bret Hart to go to AEW, not only because this is going to be the first time that he's like come back and been regularly involved in the business, but also because of who he's going to align himself with. I would strap in. I think it would be a bigger deal for Bret Hart to go to AEW and manage FTR and Punk in a stable than it was for Sting to go to AEW and actively wrestle.
Wow.
Because again, Sting went from WCW and he went to Impact. Like, he went somewhere else. He wrestled somewhere else. He went to WWE. He wrestled there. And, nobody thought it was going to happen. It fucking happened. He lost to Triple H. Bing, bong, bang. So, been there, done that. But again, Bret, he's never done it. This, good Lord, if it happens, and I'm really hoping it does, because I would find a way to watch weekly, to watch this faction in this stable, because that's how big of a deal I think it would be.
It would be
Speech
fun.
over Ron Swanson.
Speaking of big deals, so I don't want to disparage the mid-card maniac, but we actually have a second email in the Stump the Chumps mailbox today, boys.
Who is it from?
Well, how can I put this eloquently? The champ is here.
Oh, yes! Yes! Yes!
So...
I'm so happy.
Wait, who's it from?
Dave.
Allegedly.
Allegedly Dave!
Vapor himself. Come on!
Do we want to knock out Pats, or do we want to do Vapors, or we want to do...
Let's do Vapor Daves.
Let's do Vapors.
All right. Okay. So here's Vapor's question. Greetings, chumps.
Wow, starting off already. What a son
It
of a
is
bitch.
I, your champ, the Lord Ruler of your Cruiserweight
All
crown.
right.
No,
Yeah,
this is
okay,
good.
all right.
This is good.
Listen, you motherfucker. Listen, you motherfucker. I'm coming at you right now. You just fucking, you coming here and saying that shit. Fucking, why am I yellow? Anyway.
I'm so happy. Why am I yellow, though?
I know it has been
Damn
a
it.
while since I've graced you with my presence in this portion of the show. I felt it was time to return and establish my control in this category as well.
Oh, this fucking
I'm so-
guy.
I'm
So
so
let's have
happy.
some fun. With Roman Reigns clearly holding on to his title for a continued lengthy run, allegedly,
Oh, man.
let's see if you know your WWF history.
Oh,
We all
no.
know Bruno has the longest title run in WWF history. Along that lineage, can you round up the top 5 and give me 2, 3, 4, and 5? Sincerely, Vapor, quotation, allegedly, quotation, Dave, all
Nice.
caps, cruiserweight champion.
Okay, so I could right off the bat, right in no
Oh, he's
particular
the best.
order, top 5
Punk is one of them.
Obviously, Bruno, Backlund.
Yes.
Punk.
He wants longest.
The
Is it a
longest single run.
longest single run? Yeah. Bob Backlund.
Backlund had it like 5 years or something.
CM Punk. Yes, CM Punk is up there because he was
Punk was the longest of the modern era.
Yes.
But I also remember them saying longest since Bret Hart.
Single run? Longest single run?
Yes.
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 Oh, okay.
Like
All right,
longest
all right.
like continuous run.
Yes. Because Punk had it for that for a little over a year before he lost it to The Rock. Before Rock lost it to Cena in the second once in a lifetime.
That's true.
Matchup.
Once in a lifetime.
Bret Hart is one of them, isn't he? Or
Austin has to be one of them too.
No.
Austin. So Austin had a lot of like breaks in his run.
Are we
because
we're going for the top 5?
Like continuous run, like one continuous run.
JBL and or John Cena somewhere there.
I agree with all those names. So 2, I will say 100% is Bob Backlund.
Bob Backlund. We're not counting Bruno because he said
right, Bruno's number 1.
We don't talk about Bruno. Okay, got it.
So
did somebody say Pedro Morales?
Pedro Morales was the longest intercontinental.
He had the WWE title for like 1,000 some days.
Oh, did he?
What is with this
I guess
cat
Pedro
and he was fucking freaking out?
So like, are we saying? So we're saying Backlund, Morales.
Yeah, because I think Morales only had it one time.
What about Hogan?
Maybe. Shit, I'm trying to remember now.
This is tough. I think that Backlund is absolutely one of them.
Backlund absolutely is, and CM Punk absolutely is.
I mean, if you're sure about Punk, then I think we ought to throw JBL and Bret Hart in there too, because JBL would all the time talk about being the longest reigning champion since Bret Hart.
He was the longest reigning SmackDown champion.
Yeah, but still,
which is the lineage.
It was always preferenced though as longest reigning SmackDown champion.
Yeah, but
that lineage is the undisputed title was the WWF title.
Yes. Was Cena up there or no?
So wait, so are we saying, are we going with the lineage title?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he's asking about. Because that's one that Bruno Sammartino held.
Yes, WWF/WWE title / undisputed.
All right.
So
I'd say
everybody stop. What names are we saying so far? We're looking for 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So we're looking for 4 names.
Yeah.
Backlund is 1, or Backlund is 2 for sure.
Morales, Ransom, I'll go with you on that one. I think Punk is 1, and I think Hogan might be another one.
So, okay, here's the problem with that. I don't think Punk held it longer than JBL. And I know that JBL didn't hold it as long as Bret Hart because JBL made a point of saying, I'm the longest reigning champion since Bret Hart.
I really think because they made a big stink about that whenever Punk broke that. Because wasn't he like 400 some days?
452.
Yeah, okay, you're right. Punk probably is up there then.
That's why I'm saying, like, I think Punk, Morales, Backlund, and like I said, I think Hogan's one of them because think about Hulkamania. Think about it.
Yeah, but
I'm trying to.
Here's the thing. I don't think it's any modern wrestler.
I think there's one in there though.
No,
I think that there are two in there.
I do not.
It wouldn't shock me if like 2 and 3 were Backlund and Morales. But
Yeah.
I think that 4 and 5 would be like Cena Hart or Hart Punk or something, or Punk Hart.
How long did? I'm trying to remember.
I try to think in terms. Well, okay, so let's hear Ransom out on his tangent here. Why don't you think it's a modern wrestler?
Because back in the day, these titles didn't hot potato like they do now.
Right.
People held titles for over a year. Easy. Over a year, easy. There was no hot potatoing. I think that there was enough hot potatoing with Reigns. There was enough with Punk. There was enough with JBL.
Seth Rollins.
Oh good Lord, I will almost guarantee that it's no modern wrestler. These are going to be all old guys.
I think it's
so. We know Bruno Sammartino was one.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like you're not wrong about that, but at the same time, they were also very choosy with who they let have these big long fucking reigns. It was always like the next guy. There was no hot potatoing because WWFE was like, all right, we need to put our. San Martino was like, all right, this is the guy. Like, San Martino is wrestling. Hogan. So here's all right. So I try to live in my memories from WrestleMania to WrestleMania, and yeah, Poot makes a great point. Hogan had a lot of days with the title, but sequentially, I can't say that he did. I think he had it at WrestleMania 1. I know he had it at WrestleMania 2. He defended against King Kong Bundy. At some point he defended against Andre the Giant between 2 and 3. I think that may be one long continuous run. Between 3 and 4, he lost it to Andre. Andre sold the title to DiBiase,
right,
which then held it up. Macho won at WrestleMania 4. At WrestleMania 5, Hogan got it back, only to lose the Warrior a year later, WrestleMania 6. And then that was pretty much it with Hogan's involvement, minus WrestleMania 9. Oh, no, I lied. He got it back at WrestleMania 7, only to lose it to Ric Flair a little bit thereafter.
I feel like because we seem like we've settled on Backlund, Morales, and Punk. I really feel like
Punk.
this.
Listen, I'm not sold on Morales, and I wouldn't be shocked.
It was in the 70s. Absolutely. He was over 1,000 days in the 70s. Absolutely.
The main title, because
the main title, the WWF title. This dude held it one time, and he held it for over 1,000 days. And
it was the
way back in the
WWF title
70s.
at that point.
Well, and that's so
because the WWF title morphed into the WWF title.
Right,
so
but
yeah.
Was
Morales out? We don't have to worry about him.
Right. So
right?
was the Morales right? Was the Morales run after San Martino then?
Yes.
Okay.
Morales would be at the bottom of that list. Morales would be 5. Backlund would be 2.
All right.
San Martino would probably be 4.
No, San Martino's 1.
No,
I honestly think Hogan might be 2.
Yeah, that's right.
I think Hogan might be 2.
I was gonna say nobody held it longer than Bruno Sammartino.
And he even said, "We all know Bruno has the longest run in WWF history."
I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna go.
I'm telling you.
Beef's right. Beef's right. Because I'm thinking of
from one, which would be Sammartino. We know that. I'm gonna go Sammartino, Backlund, Hogan, Morales, Punk.
That's right. That's right. I'm thinking of Bruno's second reign.
Okay.
Here's the thing, though.
So Punk is the only modern one.
Here's the thing. I don't know if.
Well,
Punk, hold on. No, Punk never beat out JBL's record, did he?
He did.
He did?
Absolutely.
Because JBL. Yep.
Okay.
Because JBL was not champion at WrestleMania 20, and he lost it at WrestleMania 21, so he didn't even hold it for a full year.
Now, did so then did Punk beat out Hart's record?
Bret held it from 10. Fuck.
He did.
Yes, but I'm trying to think of what WrestleMania 11. WrestleMania 11 was Michaels Diesel for the title, right?
Yes.
Or was that okay?
10 was Hart Michaels.
No. 12 was Hart.
12 was Hart Michaels.
And so that would have been the crux of the Bret Hart era. Would have been like between WrestleMania 8 and 9, winning it, carrying it to 9, losing to Yoko, and then winning it back at WrestleMania 10 and carrying it to pretty much. I think he carried it to like right around New Year's Eve. So damn near a year.
Okay.
So I think that yes, CM Punk's 400 plus day title reign.
CM Punk's
at 5.
CM Punk. Don't ask me why this number's sticking out to me, but I remember CM Punk. I want to say his title reign consecutive was 452 days.
That sounds actually exactly right on. So
something about that number sticks out to me.
We're saying Bruno obviously number 1.
Yeah.
Backlund 2. Morales 3. Hogan 4.
No.
Punk 5. No.
I'm saying Sammartino,
Hogan and Morales.
We don't need to count Bruno.
Right.
I know, but I'm saying just so
Okay.
that we have 5 versus just 4.
Okay.
Sammartino, Backlund,
Yes.
Hogan,
Yes.
Morales, Punk.
Yes.
So you think that Hogan had it for more days than
Yes.
Morales?
We don't need it in the particular order. We don't need to have them in their exact order. We just need to make sure we have them correct.
Tom, I'm sitting over here. I'm back at the gym. I'm trying to flex on people. Give me a break.
So he said, "Give me 2, 3, 4, and 5." He didn't say in that order. I don't know what he may.
Okay. I think we're right on who we have, and
Yes.
I also think that Poot is right on the order.
So yeah, I mean the reign that Hogan started before WrestleMania 1, that went through WrestleMania 3 and then some, would have encapsulated probably more than 1,000 days. So if we're saying that Pedro was at 1,000 or so, Hogan
Pedro
being above that.
He was a little over 1,000.
So Hogan being at 1,100 or so would make sense. So we're saying
Yes. Yeah.
just a triple check. Bruno, Backlund,
Yep.
Hogan, Morales, Punk.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm good with that.
I'm good with that.
All right, Vapor. Let's see what you get.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Hope you're fucking wrong. I hope we're right, and I hope that you lose, Dave. We'll see.
Oh.
All right, I am assuming you'll get this correct because we're awesome. I thought I would try throwing you a bone and give you an easy one. Listen to this fucking guy. I have to inflate
He
your
is the
egos.
ultimate heel cruiserweight champion.
I have to inflate your egos a little bit since no one can take this title from me.
This fucking
Wow.
guy.
He's better than me at being a heel champion. Good lord.
Not disputed. He's had it for several months now. You guys keep coming up short against me by 1 point. I think twice now, Dave. You're lucky. Better lucky than good, boy. Watch out. The answer, according to WWE.com, is Bruno 2803, Backlund 2135, Hogan 1474, Bruno 1237, Pedro 1027.
What? Fuck you.
Oh,
That's
I
bullshit.
was right saying Bruno twice. Son of a bitch.
Fuck you. That's bullshit.
As bullshit as though it may be.
Damn it.
I'm fucking Googling this. Hold on.
Insert the fucking like the knockoff Jeopardy theme. Yeah.
He's right.
Okay, this,
I
Yeah.
found it. He's
this
right.
is not any janky fucking website. This is Sportskeeda. Okay? This is fucking
Which
sports. Wait a minute.
Can be
Sportskeeda.
updated by anybody.
Oh, that's the well. No, Sportskeeda was the one. Let's see. Fucking longest.
WWE.com.
Okay. Okay.
There's the article.
Sports lister. Let's see this. Number 10, superstar Billy Graham, 296 days. Diesel,
Try.
358. AJ Styles, 371. Randy Savage, 371. John Cena, 381. CM Punk, 434.
Oh, I was
Pedro
close.
Morales, 1,027. Hogan, 1,474. Backlund, 2,135. San Martino, 2,803. Suck my dick, you fuck, man. This fucking
Yeah, but
sub
what is that?
bullshit.
Is that, are they taking into account like just WWE championships, or is that
it was the
Universal and
legacy
World
belt.
Heavyweight? See,
yeah,
but
Toad's
I found
not
the
wrong,
article-
but I think they're
I
not
found the
taking
article
into
that Dave
account.
is referencing. On WWE.com, they list their 10 longest reigning WWE champions of all time.
Mhm. And I think that article is probably not wanting to list the same wrestler twice that you're looking at, Poot, because you're like, oh, we've seen San Martino already. We have San Martino. We have San Martino at home. The San Martino we have at home.
Nice try on a meme, but I don't know that. All right, maybe it's just
He got
being
us.
pissy
He
that
got
we
us.
got. All right,
He did.
It's not even a gray area, man. Like, he never once said that we couldn't repeat wrestlers. And like
stop
Ransom even said,
fucking
hey man,
kowtowing to your fucking champion, Paul Heyman.
I am
We're not
just
though. Like he's
making a
he's
point.
factually correct.
I'm making a point that Ransom even said, oh, I think Bruno had a second reign, and none of us even like paused a beat to go, how long was Bruno's second reign? Because we don't talk about Bruno.
Damn it, Dave. Now I'm
Well-
looking forward to the Dave Maniac feud because Dave shows up out of nowhere, dumps us real good, and the Maniac sends him in weekly, and we beat him on the weeklies. So I'm looking forward to the Dave Maniac feud.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, the Cruiserweight Champion,
Allegedly.
Vapor Dave. So, Dave,
Damn it.
as per the rules of Stump the Chumps, you get to call your spot.
Whoa! I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Message the page with your spot that you want to take. If you want to take a spot, if you just want to jump in, if you want to be here for a session, if you just want to show up and be like, hey guys, fuck you, I got your belt. Ha ha. You know, whatever you want to do, buddy.
If you want to
just
make
let me
Ransom
know.
squeal like that,
Oh,
You
I'm
just,
so happy. He clobbered us good.
He takes 2 fingers, not 3. That'll make him so.
We fucking snuffed it.
so you fucking
Like Beef said, it
snuffed
wasn't even a gray area either. Like there was no chicanery, no shenanigans. We completely overlooked Bruno's second
I
run.
mean-
That's
Oh,
dumb
we
as
already
fuck.
lost
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's
Listen.
dumb as fuck.
Listen, there was a ref bump. I'll say that. There was
No,
a ref bump.
Thank you.
No way. No way.
Can we stop? Can we all agree on one thing? Not trying to pat myself on the back, but how damn close was I there? I was like 452 and it was 434. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
man.
proud.
Off on the back, but look how goddamn good I am.
Honestly,
I'm just tired of, I want to get off the let's suck Dave's dick train here, you know. that's all.
honestly, I gotta give props to my boy Ransom for fucking pulling out Pedro Morales with over 1,000 days. I had
Yeah.
no fucking idea about that.
I like when he said it, I didn't doubt him, but I wasn't. I don't know.
Also, Ransom saying it's not going to be any modern guy. It's all old ass guys. But bing bong bang.
A bing bong, son of a bitch. Shut this shit up. I gotta go.
No fun little quips. No fun. We're defeated. I've been defeated twice. I'm done. I'm out. Poot. Say the fucking words.
Thank you, ladies
You're
and
gonna
gentlemen,
be
for
okay.
listening to the
Say
P3
the
podcast.
fucking
I'm going to keep talking over these idiots until they stop talking. And he's on third. He's on first. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is a baseball game, apparently. Everyone done? Okay.
Fuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to the Pittsburgh Pile Driver podcast. I want to thank our very own Casual Gaming Dad, Tiger Bomb Tom, and his page, Casual Gaming Dad, over on Facebook. Plays a lot of great video games. You can also check him out. Let's see if I get this right. Fuck me, forgot it right last time. Casual Gaming Dad 84 on Twitch and Casual Gaming Dad on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Fuck yeah, Caps Lock. I got it right. Make sure you check out all his gaming content. Subscribe. Give him all the bits. Give him all the stars. Give him all your money, because he would rather do that than his day job. Also, we want to go ahead and thank Sean Tischler for his work with independent wrestling in the central Pennsylvania area. Already blocked off for whenever we have the next Clearfield Carnage or whatever the actual fuck it's called. I will get it right whenever we get closer to the thing. I also want to thank, okay? I also want to thank our very own Madman, Mr. Ransom the Madman. Frigoff Ransom. Check out his YouTube channel. He is one of my best friends. He is one of the best men I know. Upstanding, lovely, and sarcastic, and will punch you in the mouth. Make sure, with comedy. Make sure you check him out over on YouTube. And you know what? Fuck it. Even though my channel hasn't been updated in a long time and I haven't posted a video, check out Poot the Bard on YouTube as well. I have some neat gear reviews that people love to say I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, which is fine. I don't give a fuck. I just like doing things. Also, I have a really good playthrough of Super Mario World that I think is hilarious, so go check that out as well. People let their kids watch it. I swear a lot in it, so you're all bad parents. All right, for the P3 Podcast Boys, myself, Poot the Bard, the Barbarian, baby, Mr. Beast the Legend, our encyclopedia of wrestling, Mr. Tiger. Come on, Tom, give me one.
Uppercut.
Boom, Tom, and Ransom the Madman. Have a great evening, day, whenever you're listening to this podcast. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Dave wins again. We suck.
Fuck.